Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I welcome you to the third day of our Knowledge Week for Suleman Dawood School of Business, which basically is a webcast series for the graduate programs that we are teaching at SDSP or Suleman Dawood School of Business. My name is Amar bin Salim, and I'm your host for today's program. So far, we have covered MS Financial Management, MS Accounting and Analytics, MS Supply Chain and Retail Management in our previous webcast, and their videos are available on our Facebook page as well. So if you think you are interested in those programs, I request you to visit those videos as well. Today, inshallah, we will be discussing the MS Healthcare Management and Innovation Program that we offer through SDSP. And before moving on to the rest of the today's program, I'd like to remind you that tomorrow, inshallah, it will be our webcast for Executive MBA. And day after that, on Friday, which will be 8th of January, we will be wrapping this Knowledge Week with our webcast for Master of Business Administration, the MBA program. So as we all are aware, all of these programs are taught at SDSB, and SDSB is the most eminent business institution, business school in the whole country. And it has a significant history of producing highly effective corporate leaders, corporate managers, and igniting the entrepreneurial spirit as well. In addition, SDSB is the first, and it is also the only business school in Pakistan to have scored the AACSB accreditation. And once again, that is an achievement that puts us amongst the top 5% of the world's business schools. Now, today, definitely, we will be talking about the MS Healthcare Management and Innovation, as I say, MS HMI program. We will be discussing admission dates, admission criteria, but we will not be limiting our discussion to these topics only. We will be talking about how this degree can play its part in the healthcare sector in Pakistan and across the globe, and what our students can expect once they graduate. So I'd further like to remind you that this program is basically being done for you, for our audience, for our applicants. So if you have any confusions, if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions that you want the answers to, and you want them to come from our faculty members, it is your chance to interact with them, of course, virtually. So please make sure you're writing your questions, suggestions in the comment section where you're watching this video, and our social media team will pick them up and will give them to me. And inshallah, I'll try to find their answers by speaking with our panelists. So I'd like to welcome Doctors Aisha Masood, Hassan Rauf, and Mr. Kashif Khan. Dr. Aisha Masood holds a PhD in anthropology from Arizona State University, and she is working at SDSB as an assistant professor for organizational behavior. In addition, she is also the program director for MS HMI. Mr. Kashif Khan has an extensive healthcare management experience from healthcare organizations across the globe, and at present he is working at SDSB as an executive in residence for healthcare management. Dr. Hassan holds a PhD in supply chain management from North Carolina State University, and he is presently teaching at SDSB as an assistant professor. So thank you so much for joining today, everyone. I'll be starting with you, Dr. Aisha. Could you please introduce the program to our audience and let them know what it is all about?
Right. Thank you, Amar, for this kind introduction. So HMI program is in its second year. This is going to be our second batch. And one of the major reasons we started this program at SDSP was because of a collective realization on our part that we need good managers in our healthcare system. I have been working on various aspects of our healthcare for a very long time. So I have been associated with the healthcare as a doctor first, and then as a researcher through anthropology. And then I have been doing research mostly on policy implementation and on bureaucracy of healthcare. And one of the major takeaways throughout this process, this journey, has been that one of the major problems in our healthcare is not that we don't have enough good people or that we don't have enough resources. It's that we don't have good managers who can utilize those resources in an efficient and in an equitable manner. And so that was the key realization that prompted us at LUMS me, Dr. Kashif, and Dr. Vimani to start a new program with the idea of producing managers for the public and the private sector in healthcare, Pakistan. And one of the major, one of the ideas behind that program was that we need people who can lead healthcare organizations, public organizations, to manage their funds and their resources more effectively so that our healthcare system becomes much more sustainable. And we also need good managers in our private sector to sort of jumpstart and lead innovation and entrepreneurship in that sector. So हमारे private sector के अंदर we see a lot of potential, we see a lot of good things happening, especially in the recent years, in terms of private healthcare organizations, in terms of pharmaceutical companies coming up, in terms of e-health solutions, which are becoming increasingly relevant in the age of COVID-19. And we see a lot of pain points as well, especially after this experience of pandemic. And the only way through this, the only way to manage this is to create people who are able to lead and transform these private organizations, who are able to manage them effectively, manage their finances, manage their human resources, who are able to market and create innovation in those sectors. And so that was the basic philosophy behind this program. And we had a very, very good experience last year. We had students from across the health sector, from dentists, from practicing doctors, from pharmaceutical, from people who had degrees in pharmaceutical companies, and people who were already working in various managerial positions within healthcare sector. We also had a lot of feedback from various organizations who were already working in healthcare, who were able to guide us what was needed, what they needed in terms of their potential applicants, in terms of their managers. And so we have been taking cues from all these factors, from the audience, as well as our health industry, and we are trying to incorporate all of them into creating a curriculum that effectively deals with the needs of our health sector. So not the health sector of a Western country, not the health sector of a developed country, but very much specifically health sector of a developing nation, of a lower middle income country of Pakistan. So managers who are already sensitized and being taught the ideas that are relevant to Pakistan's health sector. And so that's basically the philosophy of it. So we have divided the program into two major areas. One of them is more is the teaching, and the other one is more experiential learning. And so it's a 1.5 year degree program. The first year is divided into 2 semesters. And the first semester is about core business subjects. So what we want to do throughout this first semester is to give people grounding, because our audience is coming primarily from medical sciences. So we are trying to give them a grounding in business sector, excuse me. And so there are 4 courses which are basically providing that grounding, and so they are related to organizational behavior and leadership. This is marketing and business finance and analytics. The second semester is very much specifically related to health sector. So health systems management, how is health policy made and implemented, entrepreneurship within health sector. And so after these 2 semesters, we then want our students to be involved with their with organizations, and to be able to demonstrate that they have not only effectively learned those skills, but they are able to apply them in real world situations as well. Exactly. So our last semester is very much an experiential semester, where students will be appended to within host organization with the idea of developing and then implementing some sort of an innovation and development for their host organization. with the hope that these projects will eventually translate into employment opportunities for them within their host organization. So we are already in conversation with those people in terms of developing those opportunities. So that's
Thank
basically the review of the program.
Thank you, Dr. Aisha, for getting into such details and also touching base with the program structure, which is also very important. It's also one of those questions that we are generally asked by our audiences, and you have addressed it in the beginning as well. So, and inshallah, I'll be coming back to you with more to discuss on entrepreneurship aspect of the MSHMI project that LUMS offers. But Kashif Saab, मैं अभी आपके पास आता हूँ. How, in your opinion, LUMS Healthcare Management Initiative, in the form of a degree program to offer career, how is it going to be effective, especially when we talk about our country, Pakistan? Kashif साहब, मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूँ अगर आप अपना माइक अनम्यूट कर लें.
Yes, can you hear me now? Sorry.
Yeah. Sure.
Assalamu alaikum. As Dr. Aisha said, in Pakistan we have a developing healthcare industry. अगर आप cities देखें, हमारे यहाँ पर hospitals बन रहे हैं, private hospitals बन रहे हैं, medical universities हैं. हमारे यहाँ पर एक very healthy pharmaceutical industry है. एक और element जो हमारे यहाँ पर increasingly हो रहा है वो digital health है. The use of health informatics, artificial intelligence use in healthcare system. और उसके अलावा अब आपने हेल्थ केयर इंश्योरेंस का देख रहे हैं, यूनिवर्सल कवरेज ऑफ हेल्थ केयर देख रहे हैं. ये सारे वो एलिमेंट्स हैं जब दे मेक अप द हेल्थ इकोसिस्टम, और उन सारों के अंदर देयर इज अ रोल दैट यू ऑल हैव टू प्ले, और उसमें मैनेजमेंट इज अ क्रूशियल पार्ट. जो कोविड-19 ने दुनिया को एक चीज दिखाई है वो ये है कि हेल्थ इंपैक्ट्स ऑन योर इकोनॉमी, योर लाइवलीहुड, एक्सपेक्ट ऑफ एवरी पार्ट ऑफ योर लाइफ. तो हेल्थ केयर मैनेजमेंट इज क्रूशियल फॉर दैट साइड ऑफ थिंग्स. और जो स्टूडेंट्स हम लेते हैं उनको फिर एज डॉक्टर आयशा क्लियरली पॉइंटेड आउट कि हम उनको कोर्स सब्जेक्ट्स पढ़ाते हैं, उनको फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट सिखाते हैं, उनको मार्केटिंग सिखाते हैं, उनको लीडरशिप सिखाते हैं. तो दोज आर द पीपल व्हिच आर geared up for the industry which is growing in Pakistan, but beyond Pakistan, in Middle East and South Asia. So these people will be the leaders. They will go out in industry, they serve as the managers like I did in hospitals, but they will also be innovators. There'll be people that be used health informatics into different role, and also to serve the community they're in. It's a very promising career. It's a developing career in Pakistan, in South Asia as well. I believe the time is now where people should go out and make those healthcare organizations and more professional ones where they can serve patient better, and the coverage of the healthcare should be across the board. So this program teaches them that. और most crucially वो ये है कि आप एक need serve कर रहे हैं जो पाकिस्तान के अंदर है, और वो ये है कि हम sustainably एक service provide करें which reflect the patient needs. So this program will help with that reason.
Okay, thank you, Kashif Saab, and inshallah मैं आपको दोबारा भी आऊँगा with more to discuss on the management aspect of our resources in the healthcare sector. Dr. Hassan, आपके पास आता हूँ. What sort of skills do we really look for in a candidate who is aspiring to enter this program? In other words, who would be an ideal candidate in your opinion?
Thank you, Mark. So we've not sort of narrowed it down that only health people who are engaged or have background in healthcare can apply. So it's open because yes, we believe that predominantly people would be coming from who have already experienced exposure or some sort of background in the healthcare sector. But this is open because we're talking about taking this to the next level, adding bringing the aspect of innovation. So we're also looking for good business graduates, even maybe fresh graduates, because given that healthcare sector that forms that's such an important sector, and if you compare this with any advanced economies, they spend much more of their GDP on their health, and then that reflects in their progress. Whereas we as a developing country, hopefully inshallah as things improve, so the spending on healthcare sector is going to improve, is it going to enhance, and that will create a lot more opportunities not only for existing players but also would create opportunities for people who are looking to innovate, and especially with now with this IT and healthcare, the amalgamation. So that does not leave any borders. So people with skills, with creativity, with ideas can sort of add value and create opportunities for themselves. So it's open. People who are willing to develop their careers and contribute to this sector, they're welcome in this program.
Certainly, thank you, Dr. Hassan. I'm glad that हमारे पास questions from the community have started coming in, and our first question is from Muhammad Ajmal Khan. He's asking, is GRE required? तो मैं अजमल का आंसर खुद ही क्वेश्चन खुद ही आंसर कर देता हूँ. Yes, अजमल, आप या तो GRE दे सकते हैं या GMAT, or you could also go for GAT. It is up to you which one you want to go for to satisfy the minimum requirement with regards to testing for as a prerequisite to enter this program. Dr. Aisha, मैं आपकी तरफ आता हूँ. मेरा अगला question जो है आपसे, that is relevant to SDSB. What is the main teaching methodology that we employ at SDSB, and how will that aid the teaching of healthcare management and innovation related concepts?
Right. So for these programs, we are using blended learning methodologies. So by blended, we mean that it's a mix of in-class learning as well as outside the classroom learning. A significant chunk of your assignments, your lectures will be available online, and they will be very much interactive. And so those readings, those lectures, and those discussions that you have outside the classroom will be supplemented by in-classroom discussions, which can be either lecture-based or they can be case-based, depending upon the content that you are being taught. And these will also be supplemented by hands-on experiential elements of the course. So, for example, we have a course in the later half of the semester, which is an operations management course. And so we are hoping that part of that course will involve at least some hands-on experience of how the operations within an actual healthcare organizations are managed, whether it can be in person depending upon the restrictions posed by COVID-19, or whether it is managed through distant or online mechanisms. That remains to be seen, but we would like to involve that. Similarly, in the innovation and entrepreneurship course, we would like to invite people who are already managing healthcare startups, or who are in the process of building and creating these startups. And so it will be a very interactive session with those. And all of these things then will be supplemented by, of course, by real life case-based discussions and by lecture-based things. So that is broadly speaking the methodology that we are using specifically for these programs. What this blended learning actually provides for healthcare students is that if it's a very rigorous program, but for students who want to, for example, continue working in their current jobs, or who want to have a relationship with their parent organization while they are adding to their managerial skill, to a certain extent it is possible. So in our present batch, we do have a few students who are working doctors, and they are managing their careers while taking these classes, and so this methodology has been really advantageous to them in this regard. इसका एक और फायदा ये है कि तकरीबन तमाम स्टडीज ने ये शो किया है कि खाली क्लासरूम लर्निंग से बेहतर है कि there is an element of actually moving outside the classroom, which involves the experience of things, and which involves peer-to-peer learning through these online discussion forums. दूसरा फायदा ये है कि आप it's on your own pace. So हाँ, आपको क्लासरूम के अंदर प्रेजेंट होना है, and you have that component in which you have to learn from your teachers, but there is a significant chunk of your course that you can manage on your own. where teaching material is already available to you, और आप उसे अपनी pace के ऊपर कर सकते हैं. So it is a good mix for people who are both early career and who are mid career. अगर आप early career हैं और आप अभी अपनी job start करना चाहते हैं, but you want to add these skills, this is good for you. अगर आप अपने mid career में हैं and you already have a job and you want to manage both of these things, I think it will still work for you. So blended learning हमें ये थोड़ा सा फायदा देती है in terms of purely class based learning. एक पिछले दफा के एक्सपीरियंस से हमें ये आइडिया हुआ. We had not planned it like this, but because of COVID-19, it allowed our learning to continue without any problem. So a lot of other just face-to-face classrooms had to be reconfigured in terms of online learning. But we didn't have to. We actually were able to deliver a lot of our lectures and a lot of our content just as we planned, because this was already built into our learning methodology that some part of the course will be blended. And continuing with this pandemic, I think this continues to offer that flexibility. That if the students are unable to come to campuses because of these COVID-19 restrictions, I think this methodology actually lends itself to that.
Certainly, बिल्कुल ठीक है. Thank you so much, Dr. Aisha. काश साहब, आपके पास आऊँगा फिर से. क्वेश्चन अक्सर आता है, खास तौर से जब हम बात करते हैं हेल्थ केयर मैनेजमेंट की, लोग थोड़े से ज़्यादा कंसर्न होते हैं विद रिगार्ड्स टू एजुकेशनल बैकग्राउंड्स. दो डॉक्टर हसन ने ऑलरेडी उस बारे में बात की है, मगर मैं आपसे भी चाहूँगा कि since you are an expert in the field and you have been working in Pakistan and outside as well, what educational backgrounds do we really look for in our applicants? What about the people who have no backgrounds in the healthcare sector? वो किस तरह से इस opportunity पे maximum capitalize कर सकते हैं?
अगर आप पाकिस्तान की क्लाइमेट देखें, जनरली देखें, तो हमारे यहाँ पर भी very studied in different countries. पाकिस्तान के पास और लम्स में हमारे जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, they're very capable. I'm really heartened by their passion. हमारी कम्युनिटी में कई लोग हैं जो प्रोफेशन चेंज करना चाहते हैं. कोविड में for passionate reason people want to do because they feel that they serve something to the community. तो ये कोर्स लाजमी नहीं है कि आप डॉक्टर हों या पब्लिक हेल्थ में आपका कोई नॉलेज हो. If you have done your 16-year basic education, you're good with you have to be able to think clearly in terms of your career. तो हेल्थ केयर में जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, इट्स अ वेरी डाइवर्स एरिया. अगर आप स्टार्टअप करना चाहते हैं, आप टेक्नोलॉजी के पर्सन हैं, interestingly a number of people that I'm working with at the moment on digital health, they don't have healthcare background. They're actually people that did sciences, they did technology courses, but health is becoming a very key part of technology. It was one of the industry which was not prone to so much of the health technology. So now with the health informatics, artificial intelligence जो हमारी इस्तेमाल हो रही है, machine learning जो इस्तेमाल हो रही है, तो उन लोगों का इंटरेस्ट अब हेल्थ केयर में बन गया जो प्रीवियसली नहीं था. और इसी तरह जैसे मैंने आपको पहले बताया कि हमारी जो हेल्थ केयर के हॉस्पिटल एस्टेब्लिशमेंट्स हैं, दे आर ग्रोइंग. तो अब लाहौर के अंदर अलोन वी हैव नीयरली 6 हॉस्पिटल, प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल जो बने हैं लिटरली इन लास्ट 5 years, एंड दिस फील्ड इज ग्रोइंग. तो उनके अंदर मैनेजर्स चाहिए, प्रोफेशनली क्वालिफाइड मैनेजर्स चाहिए. तो आपको सबसे पहले आपका पैशन होना चाहिए कि आप कम्युनिटी को सर्व करें. सेकंड थिंग, यू शुड हैव एन इंटरेस्ट इन हेल्थ केयर, कि आपके अपने जो एम हो वो ये हो कि उसको आप जो हेल्थ है, हेल्थ के अंदर एक चीज यूनिक होती है कि इसे 24/7 बिजनेस, ये शॉप्स नहीं होते, ये हॉस्पिटल सारे दिन चलते हैं. तो इफ यू हैव अ पैशन दैट यू वांट टू सर्व, यू वांट टू हैव बिट ऑफ वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस, but you want to have a progressive, it's a very developing career. It's a very fulfilling career. I've been involved in it 20 years and I really live it every day. So it's a very fulfilling, if you want something which is very fulfilling, challenging as well, because you're dealing with people, you are a people person, you have passion to make things better, and you want to do something which you feel gives you inner satisfaction that you are saving lives, you're making people's lives better, then this is the profession for you. और आपको जैसे डॉक्टर आयशा ने भी कहा कि हमने जिस तरह ब्लेंडेड लर्निंग की है, blended learning opens up this opportunity to a number of people that were previously not able to come. So it's actually learning beyond borders, the LUMS way of working. So those people who weren't previously able to come to campus, they can be part of it now. Or because we started the scholarship, which we will come to later, जैसे डॉक्टर आयशा ने भी आपने गैट की बात की, हमने GMAT की रीमेट भी खत्म कर दी. So people who have a good GAT, they can actually apply. Equally, people who have entrepreneurial mind and they want to apply that within the healthcare sector but never done before, this course is for them because there's a whole course around technology and innovation. तो हम आपको वहाँ पर वो सारी चीजें सिखाते हैं कि बिजनेस स्टार्टअप कैसे हो, आपको टेक्नोलॉजी के अंदर हेल्थ डेटा कैसे यूज करना है. तो it's actually borderless. You can, anybody from any background can apply, but what they must have is a passion for healthcare. They should have the basic knack to help work with people, because healthcare is people business, and they should have the knack to be able to do something which is in a complex organization. So this course teaches you that, but the main thing is that you have to be clear in your career option, what you want to do. But it's definitely one where there is a huge promise in Pakistan, in South Asia and Middle East.
Certainly, बिल्कुल ठीक है. Thank you so much, काशिफ साहब. आपने काफी detail से explain किया इसको. I have another question that is from Umair, and Umair says, I have background in mass communication and bachelor's. Will I have to take additional courses, foundation courses for MS HMI? So, Dr. Aisha, मैं आपकी तरफ ये route करता हूँ question.
Yes. So people who are from non-business background will have to take foundational courses. So it's a degree primarily in business management with specialization in healthcare. That is how it is positioned. So if you are coming from a non-business background, you will need some foundational courses in organizational behavior, in principles of management. And these are provided to you by LUMS if you are admitted. We do take into account your previous degrees and the courses that you have taken in them. And if there are certain courses that fulfill our requirement of business education, we do take that into account. But since we would like our class to be on a homogeneous level of expertise in these areas before they can begin their very rigorous course and masters, we suggest and actually insist that all of our class take those foundational courses. There's just one thing that I would like to add to what Dr. Kashif said earlier. और वो ये है कि ये this degree program is it requires a lot of commitment. It's a very condensed course of study. आपके पास सिर्फ 1.5 year है, of which there is just 1 year of coursework. So one of the major things that we need from our candidates, that I personally like to see in the people, is their commitment to education, is their commitment to excellence. Because I'm not going to, it requires a degree of stepping out of your comfort zone, especially for people who are coming from healthcare background, to be able to develop expertise in areas like management, in areas like finance, and in areas like marketing. And this requires them to challenge themselves and to apply themselves throughout for this 1 year. So that's one of the major requirements that I like to see in the candidates: their enthusiasm for the degree, their enthusiasm for pursuing a career in this area, but also their commitment that they will be able to follow this course throughout. So it begins right from those foundational courses to answer your question, and it goes into that final experiential learning thing.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Aisha. मैं थोड़ा सा डिस्कशन को थोड़ा सा अब जरा चेंज करता हूँ. डॉक्टर हसन, आप लम्स के स्टूडेंट भी रहे हैं, आपने लम्स में काफी अरसे से माशाल्लाह टीच भी आप कर रहे हैं. स्टूडेंट पर्सपेक्टिव में आपसे लेना चाहूँगा इधर कि एक एवरेज डे जो है लम्स के किसी भी स्टूडेंट का, खास तौर से बिजनेस स्कूल का जो स्टूडेंट होता है, वो कैसा होता है, उसका प्रेशर कैसा होता है, उसके साथ कोपिंग मैकेनिज्म वो कैसे बनाता है इसके लिए. क्योंकि जब MSHMI के बारे में जैसे डॉक्टर आयशा ने भी कहा है कि the thing that is going to definitely be there, वो ये है कि स्टूडेंट्स की तरफ से कमिटमेंट तो लाजमन होनी चाहिए. तो किस किस्म की कमिटमेंट जो है हम SDSP के स्टूडेंट से देख रहे होते हैं?
देखिए, कमिटमेंट इन so this is truly a life-changing experience. So, when I joined SDSB for first time in the MBA program a couple of decades back, so with my engineering background, so frankly speaking, the first semester was really horrible in the sense that we were pushed to the extent that we had some sleepless nights as well. That was pretty frequent during the first semester. But as we went along, we learned to cope. uh, Reading skills जिस तरह improve हुई, class dynamics समझ आने शुरू हुए. So yes, one does become more comfortable, but in terms of the time requirement, because it's so competitive, and given the way the grades are scored, given relative grading, so you are competing against everybody. And plus, so this is graduate level. Generally, MBA mein to it's pure case based. So either be it's a mix of instructional mechanisms depending upon the nature of the course. So some case based learning, some experiential learning. So that requires a lot of pre-class preparation. So if you're not prepared for the class, so forget that you will be spoon fed in the class. So that's what we expect, that the students would be putting in their maximum effort, coming well prepared. And so that helps us to take them at the next level, because it's not that so applicants or people looking for this program, they should forget that they would come in and they would be spoon fed in the class. So this, we build upon their preparation, and that requires a lot of time commitment. That requires uh, uh, especially in terms of the course instruments, because all are graded. So it's not a final exam that you do good and get a good grade. So it's graded throughout the semester. So having said that, so ऐसा भी नहीं है लोग once it becomes part and parcel of their life, you tend to enjoy, because then you are challenging your own self to sort of break barriers and go beyond that. So in that sense, yes, it's demanding, but it's a life-changing experience.
ओके, तो फिर इट इज सेफ टू से कि जैसे आपने एमबीए के बारे में कहा कि आपका फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट था, एमएसएचएमआई में भी फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट हो सकता है, मगर देन अगेन इट इज अ लाइफ चेंजिंग एक्सपीरियंस. तो ऑन द गो यू विल बी लर्निंग अ लॉट मेनी स्किल्स जो कि आपको बेनिफिट करेंगे इंशाल्लाह आगे. Next question है हमारा, it's from Mr. Ashraf, and Ashraf says, how will this course help me open a healthcare related business in Pakistan? डॉक्टर आयशा, आपसे पहले भी डिस्कशन हो रही थी इस बारे में, एंटरप्रेन्योरियल एस्पेक्ट जो हम डिस्कस कर रहे थे इस एमएसएचएमआई का. अगर आप इन दोनों को अगर क्लब कर सकें और इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर दे सकें. If you want me to repeat it, I can.
So I would, मैं पहले जो है वो I would answer this question कि आपको how would it help you start a new business. So I think one of the benefits और क्या कहना चाहिए, अच्छी बात healthcare sector की ये है कि it's, at least in case of Pakistan, it's a wide open field. So you have an open field for entrepreneurship. You have an open field for starting new businesses, both in terms of service provision and both in terms of technology-based startups, as well as engineering-based startups, pharmaceutical-based startups. So that's what basically HMI program is. It prepares you not just to lead a change in an already existing organization, it also enables you to deal with everything that you can possibly encounter while you are trying to start your own business. So just to give you and to come back to the idea of curriculum, जो हमारा पहला semester है, it is very much about the business of it. So how do you manage people? How do you manage human resources? How do you manage marketing? How do you, for example, learn from marketing techniques that are being used for other businesses and then apply them to healthcare industry? How do you manage the analytics and the finance and all those things for the for a business? But that's just the general background of it. Our second semester is then very much specific to healthcare industry. And so there is this course which gives you the idea of a healthcare value chain. So you are able to understand कि आपके healthcare sector में कौन-कौन सी जगह है जहाँ पर actually innovation and entrepreneurship की ज़रूरत है. How do you identify what the opportunities are, profitable opportunities are for private businesses? How do you deal with the government regulations or policies that govern healthcare sector? How do you then manage operations? So once you are starting a business, you then have to maintain its quality. You then have to put in practices within that business model that continue to maintain a certain level of excellence. How do you do that? And then finally, we offer a very specific course that deals with this subject, with the idea of how you build and create innovation within healthcare sector. And so this involves creating a business plan. This involves finding investment, finding a payment structure. How do you go through each and every step of that? And that is being taught by the very experienced teachers at STSP who have taught this entrepreneurship to general business students for more than 20 years. So I think if you are a person who is looking to start your own business, I think you are in pretty safe hands with the HMI program.
Okay, so we can say कि मतलब entrepreneurship का जो aspect है, that is deeply embedded in the teaching of MS HMI related courses and concepts. Thank you, Dr. Aisha. Ashraf, आपका question Dr. Aisha ने काफी डिटेल में आंसर किया है. काश साहब, मैं आपके पास फिर से आता हूँ. एडमिशन क्राइटेरिया अगर आप एक दफा एक्सप्लेन कर दें हमारे जो भी ऑडियंस हैं देख रहे हैं, उनको क्लैरिटी मिल जाए कि व्हाट इट रियली इज.
जैसे मैंने पहले कहा कि you don't necessarily need to, you need 16 year of basic education. You need to either have GMAT, GAT. तो ये तो basic essential होगी. उसके बाद ये है कि आपका एक interview stage होता है. It's not just purely academic. We interview people and we try to find out, as Dr. Aisha said, what their commitment to healthcare is. और उसके अंदर अगर आपको कोई एक्सपीरियंस है प्रीवियसली, आप वो एक्सप्लेन करते हैं. और उसके बाद आप ये देखते हैं, हम ये देखते हैं कि would the candidate be suitable for this intensive course. अब हमारे पास दो इसके ट्रैक हैं. एक एग्जेक्टिव ट्रैक है which is weekend, and that suits those people who otherwise can't make the full time. और जो full time के लिए आते हैं, they also have to complete 1.5 years. Both program run for the same thing. So we look for their basic education, we look for their commitment, their interest, and what their career motives are, how they want to use it, and also about their academic background in terms of GAT score and their test score. So it's a very comprehensive way of looking at it. What they definitely need is clarity in their mind कि वो healthcare में क्या contribute करना चाहते हैं. Courseful ये एक्चुअली होता है कि जब आप आते हैं, एक आइडिया लेकर आते हैं, एक पैशन लेकर आते हैं, और देन यू, एज डॉक्टर आयशा सेड, हम आपको वो डिटेल बताते हैं जो डिफरेंट सेगमेंट्स ऑफ हेल्थ केयर है. तो उसके बाद आपकी रिफाइनमेंट होती है और आप करते हैं. लेकिन जो बेसिक चीज़ आपकी होनी चाहिए, पैशन टू सर्व कम्युनिटी, रिवॉर्डिंग करियर, something that you can commit to in terms of your time and be able to deliver everything within years program, and basic education of 16 years and with a HGCA qualified organization.
बिल्कुल सही है. काश साहब, आपने भी बात की है कि इसका जो है एक वीकेंड वेरिएंट भी इसका एक है. वो कितना डिफरेंट है रेगुलर प्रोग्राम के साथ, और रेगुलर की जो हमारी ऑडियंस है वो उस ऑडियंस से कैसे ज्यादा मुख्तलिफ होती है जो कि अदरवाइज एम्प्लॉयड होते हैं और वो वीकेंड प्रोग्राम को प्रेफर करते हैं.
हाँ, जैसे डॉक्टर आयशा ने शुरू में कहा ना कि वी आर लर्निंग फ्रॉम वी गो आउट इनटू द कम्युनिटी. हमने फुल टाइम शुरू किया, तो फुल टाइम में लार्जली द पीपल हु आर फ्रेशली ग्रेजुएट, 2-3 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है, और जैसे डॉक्टर साहब ने बताया कि उसमें मिक्स हैं, MBBS डॉक्टर्स हैं, फार्मास्यूटिकल के हैं, पब्लिक हेल्थ के लोग हैं जिन्होंने काम किया. जो वीकेंड का एग्जेक्टिव टाइप का प्रोग्राम है ना, दैट सूट्स पीपल हु आर मिड करियर. और ये लोग वो ये होता ज़्यादातर डॉक्टर्स होते हैं या फार्मास्यूटिकल के भी दूसरे लोग होते हैं, और दे हैव अ फुल प्रोफेशन, दे कांट टेक द टाइम ऑफ फ्रॉम वीकडेज. In terms of what they're taught, there is no compromise. So effectively, they learn the same thing, they follow the same modules, they go through the same process, and the quality of teaching is not compromised. This is the way we work at LUMS. So what we offer them for executive, वो weekend होगा, probably Saturday and Sunday intensive होगा, कुछ एक weekday का भी होगा, and we will set the calendar up early क्योंकि इन लोगों को time चाहिए होता है कि वो अपने time से उससे off हो जाएं. और blended learning option वही है. So you have classes on campus, you also have classes online. तो उनको ये benefit भी है. और दूसरी चीज जो अमार इसको खोलती है ना वो ये है कि people from across Pakistan can come. क्योंकि आप weekend है ना, तो आप डॉक्टर्स के लिए ये होता है कि वीकडेज प्रीमियम, वो एक ट्रेनिंग में जा रहे होते हैं और एक स्ट्रक्चर्ड होती है, उससे बाहर नहीं निकल सकते, एंड टाइम इज मनी फॉर हेल्थ केयर. सो व्हेन यू वर्किंग वीकडेज, यू गो योर ओन क्लिनिक, यू गो हॉस्पिटल, सैटरडे एंड संडे इज प्राइमरी टाइम. और जो आपका पहला सवाल था ना कि इफ पीपल वांट टू सेट अप अ हेल्थ केयर, clinicians don't learn these skills. जो डॉक्टर आयशा ने बताया ना, मार्केटिंग, फाइनेंसेस, मैनेजिंग कॉन्फ्लिक्ट, ये वो चीजें होती हैं जो आपको either if you are in a business as MS, आप गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल चलाते हैं, आप प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल चलाते हैं, आप क्लिनिक चलाते हैं, ये वो स्किल्स हैं जो आपके पास जनरली नहीं होते एज ए क्लिनिशियन. तो वी टीच यू टू बी इफेक्टिव लीडर, एन इफेक्टिव मैनेजर, एन एंटरप्रेन्योर. और ये चीजें आती हैं उन लोगों के लिए भी क्रूशियल होते हैं जिन्होंने 3-4 साल का बिजनेस किया है, लेकिन वो एक रोलर कोस्टर राइड से गुजरे क्योंकि उनको समझ नहीं आती, कभी ह्यूमन साइड की होते हैं, कभी मार्केटिंग कैसे करनी है. तो वंस यू गो थ्रू दिस कोर्स, I'm sure that you will be a better manager, you will be a good business person, and you will be a good entrepreneur. And the best part of it, you will lead a profitable business which is sustainable.
Thank you, Kashif साहब. मेरा ख्याल है उन ऑडियंस के लिए जिनको नहीं पता था कि there is an executive variant of the same program. It is now that you are aware of this, you can definitely join our program. You could apply for it. I am pretty sure that it is manageable. We have experience at STSP of running an executive MBA program as well. वो भी basically weekend program ही है. So I am certain that STSP faculty is managing this MSHMI weekend variant equally in a very professional manner as well. Akash sir, मेरे पास एक question है इस वक्त, that is from Ishrat. Ishrat asked, I want to work outside Pakistan. How will MSHMI help me on securing employment? So I would like अगर मैं आपसे start कर सकूं, and then I would take Dr. Aisha's opinion as well.
तो एक्चुअली इशरत बात ये है कि जो हेल्थ केयर मैनेजमेंट है ना, इट्स वेरी एस्टैब्लिश्ड प्रोफेशन. व्हेन यू लुक आउटसाइड, मैंने कतर में काम किया, वहां पर तो ये 15 साल पहले से हेल्थ केयर मैनेजर्स थे. सो लार्ज हॉस्पिटल्स ऑलवेज नीड मैनेजर्स. In Europe, I was in Cambridge University. वहाँ पर सारे जो services होती हैं, they're run by professionally qualified. They're not clinician necessarily, but they're people who are professionally qualified. They understand the healthcare system. They understand the health ecosystem. How does the supply chain works? So those people outside of Pakistan, this profession is grown far faster because investment in healthcare. जैसे आपको हसन साहब ने बताया, America spends something like 5% of their GDP. The healthcare industry globally is £8 trillion. America alone accounts for 1 trillion of that. और अब ये अगर आप साउथ एशिया देखें, चाइना देखें, पाकिस्तान देखें, मिडिल ईस्ट देखें, all of these areas there is a growth in healthcare development and they need managers. So whether you are thinking of Pakistan or you're thinking beyond Pakistan, this profession is one which is growing at the fastest rate. और इसमें आप हेल्थ एनालिटिक्स सीखते हैं, आप वो प्रोफेशन सीखते हैं. जब आप बाहर भी जाएं तो if you go entrepreneurial mind, you have loads of people from LUMS who qualified and they have their own healthcare system outside of Pakistan as well. Or we are trying to link up with for internship companies outside of Pakistan so people can actually learn the new technology application within the healthcare system. So there are promises there, and this profession has been established long. I mean, I did my MBA in 2000. So just gives you 22 years ago, that was all around. So, and we have a very structured way in Europe and now in Middle East and Pakistan as well. Growingly, when you look at Sunday paper, there are lots of jobs coming up for operating officers, service managers, hospital management. So this profession, whether you stay in Pakistan or you look beyond Pakistan, this gives you the foundation. This gives you the expertise you need to be able to apply in any profession outside of Pakistan as well.
Great. Dr. Aisha, would you like to add to it?
Yeah, so मेरा ख्याल है काशिफ साहब ने काफी सारी चीजें कवर कर ली हैं. Just a couple of things that I would like to add. So healthcare organization management is just one aspect of it. And yeah, I would say that is the major chunk of our audience in terms of industry, कि जो healthcare service providers हैं, चाहे वो finance related services हो, whether they are hospitals or pharmaceutical companies, or for example companies like Chuftai or Aga Khan who are providing lab testing services. लेकिन HMI provide you with job opportunities beyond that as well. So in healthcare sector, we have major players in terms of non-government agencies. So for example, WHO or Development Bank or Islamic Development Bank, and they do run programs that are geared towards, for example, maternal health, or for example, immunizations. And and a large chunk of our undergrad students do join those consulting companies. And I think that's where we would like our graduates to be as well, in that non-government sector as well. So agar aapne dekhna hai, so it's not just government, it's not just in terms of these healthcare organizations, जो कि obviously एक major chunk है, लेकिन इसके अलावा ये इस दूसरे sector में भी I think there are plenty of job opportunities.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Aisha. Dr. Hassan, I'd like to come to you, and there's a question from Bushra, and the question basically roams around the same question the same point that we discuss most of the times in our webcasts as well, especially these days. Okay, if the current situation of COVID-19 continues and into the next semester as well, and the students are asked to study online, so how different would that be from the regular classes, and how effective do you think would that be? हमने तो अब ये कर भी लिया है, I'm sure काफी universities ने across the globe ये कर लिया है, but अब how well prepared do you think we are for that?
देखिए, I think so this is so again we'll starting this next semester January 18th, and as things are, so we'll be proceeding online. So this is going to be a third semester that the faculty at SDSB would be proceeding with the online mechanism. So in that sense, over the last year, this has evolved. Like myself, so the first semester that was, yes, challenging, but engaging students with online mechanism, that gives you a lot of other, that opens up a lot of other avenues. Yes, by that I don't mean that that I would not like to go back to the campus. That's the preferred one, but the evolution in online teaching technology, that gives the faculty so much opportunities to engage in so many other ways, that sort of nullifies the effect of not being face to face. So in that sense, so we have taught so our undergrad program, that's mainly lecture based, so instruction based, or the MGS program, that's quantitative. Then we have masters, which is more case based. So the faculty over the last year had experience in multiple experiences in teaching across the breadth of these areas. And then on top of that, we have seen over every semester that how things have improved in terms of people have been able to evolve their course outlines in a way that would serve the course better on an online variant. On top of that, so hopefully once things open up, we intend to carry on with the blend with online and in class presence, so that would make it more convenient for people in working in the industry, but also people not from Lahore. So that's something which we are experimenting, and we are improving with every passing semester.
Certainly, बिल्कुल सही बात है. The next question is from Akmal Saeed साहब. Akmal is asking who is eligible for this program. So Akmal, मैं आपके question का answer देने की कोशिश करता हूँ. To be eligible to apply for this program, you need to make sure you have 16 years of education from an ATC recognized institution. और बाकी आपको बाकी जो admission की requirements है, वो testing requirements का मैंने already explain कर दिया है. You need to make sure you are giving either GRE or GMAT or GAT, whichever one you think you can go for, or बाकी सारी जो requirements that they have been listed out on, they are listed on our website as well, तो आप वहाँ से भी देख सकते हैं. Then we have another question. That question is from Hassan. And Hassan asks, how many years of work experience is required for the program? Dr. Aisha, is there a work experience requirement that we have set?
No. So there isn't any work experience requirement, especially for the regular track program. Last year, we had most people who were fresh graduates or had just 1 or 2 years of experience. So even for the executive track, we don't have work experience, but we would, for executive track at least, we would prefer applicants who are already working, who are looking to maintain their jobs during that process, because we would like them to see further their career within their parent organization. लेकिन इसकी admission के requirement के लिए आपको कोई work experience नहीं चाहिए.
ओके, जैसे डॉक्टर आयशा ने अभी कहा है कि हमें इसकी कोई रिक्वायरमेंट एस्टेब्लिश नहीं की. इवन फॉर द एग्जीक्यूटिव ट्रैक ऑफ द सेम MSHMI प्रोग्राम देयर इज नो minimum requirement with regards to the number of years of experience that you should come up with. मगर it would be great and it is preferable कि अगर आपका experience है, so then it would be easier for you to understand the concepts. Is that so, Dr. Aisha? Okay. All right. So the next question is from Amana Arshad. I think Amana has just joined us. So unka question is, what is the eligibility criteria for this program for the ones who have backgrounds in engineering and CS? Amana, abhi humne already iska answer dene ki koshish ki hai. We are expecting applications. We also encourage you, even if you are from diverse backgrounds, we encourage you to submit your application there. Your application will be evaluated on multiple different factors. We will be factoring in everything. Hamesha kehte hain ki LUM jo hai takes a very holistic approach. We try to make sure we are including everything when we are evaluating your application. So it is not just one factor that we will be focusing on. We will also be seeing कि आपका experience अगर आपका कोई है तो क्या है, आपका academic background, आपकी commitment क्या है इस course के साथ, and how you want to serve the industry in Pakistan across the globe as well. What are your ideas? And how you can enrich the experience of not only the peers that you will have at LUMS once you join our MSHMI program, but also how you will add value to the instructors as well. हम अपने पिछले webcast में भी यही चीज discuss कर रहे थे, and this is also a very significant point. तो अगर आप MSHMI की application fill in कर रही हैं, तो please bear this point in mind as well. अच्छा, अब डॉक्टर आयशा आपसे स्टार्ट करूंगा, फिर अगर काशिफ साहब के पास आऊंगा उसके बाद, कि स्कॉलरशिप और फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस हम किस तरह से प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं इस MSHMI के अंदर.
Right. So we do have, we offer generous scholarship. So it's an equal opportunity program, but we would like to encourage women, especially who are working as doctors or who are working in healthcare industry, to apply to this program. Our first batch actually was had a majority of female applicants, and so for those we offer 50% scholarship to our to the first 10 women who apply. We also have merit-based scholarships, so that's for the first 2 candidates who are in our merit list. And apart from these scholarships, we also offer a very generous financial aid program. And so the financial aid applications, they are also available through our admissions portal. So the message that I want to send out to our HMI applicants is that the inability to pay fee is not an issue. I would like you to apply and keep in mind that you might be able to avail one of these scholarships.
ओके, बिल्कुल सही. काशिफ साहब, क्लास इस वक्त हमारे पास ऑलरेडी है, जो स्टूडेंट्स हमारे पास ऑलरेडी इस वक्त MSHMI प्रोग्राम में एनरोल्ड हैं, व्हाट इज देयर प्रोफाइल, क्लास प्रोफाइल? आपका तो काफी ज्यादा एंगेजमेंट है हमारे स्टूडेंट्स के साथ.
जी, जैसे डॉक्टर आयशा ने कहा, मेजॉरिटी ऑफ देम आर फीमेल और उनको 50% स्कॉलरशिप है. तो अमार, वो एक्चुअली में जब आप वो 50% स्कॉलरशिप लें, दिस इज द चीपेस्ट मास्टर्स कोर्स दैट यू कैन रन फ्रॉम HEC recognized university in Pakistan, and it's only a year's course. The other thing is हमारे पास diverse background से लोग हैं. हमारे पास MBBS डॉक्टर्स हैं, they done couple of years in public health hospital में. कोविड की वजह से जो डेंटल सर्जरी है वो प्रेडोमिनेंटली क्लोज्ड है। तो हमारे पास BDS के डॉक्टर्स हैं, कई हैं जिन्होंने कई साल का एक्सपीरियंस भी है। पब्लिक हेल्थ के हैं, वो नॉन डॉक्टर हैं लेकिन उन्होंने MPhil किया हुआ पब्लिक हेल्थ के अंदर। वी ऑल्सो हैव स्टूडेंट्स who have no health background but they actually run, उनकी फैमिली का बिजनेस है, फार्मास्यूटिकल का है, हेल्थ केयर का है। We also have students who actually are working in public policy, और वो गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के साथ हैं और वो पब्लिक पॉलिसी है, and they want to actually learn this bit because obviously it enhances their knowledge and understanding. So we have people across from healthcare and non-healthcare. तो जो आपने पहले बात की थी ना कि we look at very holistic way of what student is able to offer. We look at diversity within our classes. और जैसे डॉक्टर आयशा ने कहा कि हम फिर जो मेरिट वाले लोग हैं, हम उनके लिए एनहांसमेंट ये है कि उनके लिए भी सेपरेट स्कॉलरशिप है। So if people want to come and if you are female, because a lot cohort of जो हमारे डॉक्टर्स होते हैं ना फीमेल, वो ये होता है हमारे कि वो काम नहीं करते, वो उसके बाद हेल्थ केयर मैनेजमेंट ऐसा प्रोफेशन है जिसके अंदर आपको वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस मिलता है। और अगर आप एंटरप्रेन्योरियल साइड देखें तो आपको वो स्किल्स मिल जाएं, यू कैन वर्क फ्रॉम होम। फ्रीलांसिंग इज अ मेजर एरिया विद इन हेल्थ केयर। तो आप टेली मेडिसिन कर सकते हैं, आप हेल्थ इनोवेशन का कोई काम कर सकते हैं। तो ये वो चीजें हैं, मैं इंकरेज करूंगा उन लोगों को जो अदरवाइज वर थिंकिंग ऑफ स्टडिंग फर्दर आफ्टर द बैचलर्स टू अप्लाई फॉर इट, because it opens up your door, it makes you professional in healthcare, it gives you the kind of skills, financial management, marketing, leadership, human behavior, which you can really apply in any part of your healthcare industry. So हमारे पास diverse हैं, we encourage more people to come with the ideas who want to do something. They don't need to have the background. And scholarships plus interest-free loan plus fact is blended learning course. And top of that, you don't need to have a very expensive GMAT. You can have GAT. You can. So I think there are loads of positive when it encourages people to apply.
बिल्कुल ठीक। आकाश साहब has explained in quite a detail. Currently we have doctors in our class. We have people from public health. We have people who have family businesses in connection with pharmaceuticals. पॉलिसी मेकिंग से काफी सारे लोग हमारे पास हैं। सो आई कैन से कि आज का जो हमारा वेबकास्ट है, दिस हैज बीन, आई एम प्रीटी श्योर दिस मस्ट बी वेरी वेरी इफेक्टिव फॉर द पीपल हु आर प्लानिंग ऑन अप्लाइंग टू आवर प्रोग्राम। And that's it. Thank you so much, Dr. Aisha, Dr. Hassan, Kashif Saab. It has been such a pleasure for me to share this platform with you. Once again, I am quite certain, I am quite hopeful as well that our applicants are much more aware as to how best approach the admissions application and how this MS Healthcare Management and Innovation program will be effective for them, especially for not only for the ones who have backgrounds in healthcare, but also the ones who do not have it. They can find new avenues once they join our program. And before we sign off, I'd like to remind our audience that the last day to take your GRE, GMAT, or GAT exam is 16th of April 2021. And the last day to submit your online application is April 20th. So make sure you are filling in your application, you're preparing for your GMAT, GRE, or GAT, whichever one you go for, as soon as you can. Don't wait till the last day. Don't wait till the last week or last month. I'm going to suggest you to start gathering your documents, start making up your mind. सोचना शुरू कर देंगे आप अपनी personal statement में क्या लिखना है, how you're going to prove that you are unique, you are committed to the MS-HMI program that LAMD offers. And thank you very much. We wish you best of luck, and we look forward to evaluating your application.